I'm Brandon.
I'm Adam. We're Pickwick Commons.
And this is the Better Band Bureau.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the third and final installment of my interview with Pickwick Commons. This week, we talk about some of the apps that they use to keep their band on the road, as well as their number one tip for DIY bands and what you should do and not do as a DIY band. If you didn't catch parts 1 and 2 the last 2 weeks, in part 1, we talked about how Brandon and Adam split their management duties in the band, and why they chose to do 4 short tours rather than 1 long tour. Then, in part 2, we talked about the biggest challenge in DIY touring, as well as how the band overcomes that, networking, and sponsorships. If you want to check out either of those videos, the link will be down below in the description if it wasn't already up here. Now, because this is the longest section, let's just get right to it. Here we go with part 3 of my interview with Brandon and Adam from Pickwick Commons. Getting more towards the technology side of things, you mentioned Google Sheets. Are there any other apps that you use to help run your band?
Big thing that I recommend, this is like, you got to commit to it. We use Wix to run our website. I set it up like 3 years ago, maybe, like on the free version. I was just playing around, seeing if I could do it. And then we ended up buying a domain and actually having our own website.
There it is.
You can see that if it's showing up. But what's...
Put the website over this for a second so people can see.
Yeah, you can check out our website. I designed it. It's not anything crazy, but like it looks decent and it has everything on it you could need about us. But what's cool is for like, I think it's like an extra $30 a year or $20. I could be wrong. The information's on their website. I think then we can set up a store. We can take cards. So we basically have our own merch store there, so we only have to sell like 2 items a year to pay for that. It's a pretty easy commitment to do. To have our own web store that's got really small fees. It can run through your Square account if your band's already using Square Reader, which you should be if you're not taking a card at your merch table. Get a Square, it's free to sign up. So Wix also has an app now, so all of us have the app on our phone. It tracks our inventory, and we can also do sales from at the merch table right through the app. So if someone walks up and they want a t-shirt and a sweatshirt and they say what size they want, I can pull it up on my phone, log it, and it'll tell me if I'm out of that size before I even can charge them or anything, which is good. And it tracks the inventory, so if they get an extra large t-shirt and an extra large hoodie, it knocks them out, so they're not on our online store anymore. So if someone goes to try and buy a t-shirt that we just sold at this show, it's not going to let them. So it keeps us from potentially overselling anything, and it just keeps everything super organized. Even if you're doing a cash payment, you can still log and keep track of all your inventory in there. It's been really helpful. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's really nice. Another similar program that was more expensive we looked into was called @Venue. Yeah, it's really pricey. I have some friends in bands that are much bigger than us that are using it, and I was like, dang, that's a sweet program. How much is that? And I looked into it, and I was like, no way. And then I found out that Wix already had that feature built into the website we were already using. I just needed the app, so I was like, sweet, I don't have to do anything, pay for anything extra. Like, it's already built into our store. So, I mean, I have no complaints about it at all.
Yeah, I have an app I use called Time2. It's TYME space 2, the number. What it does is it lets me put projects in under a category, and then I can put sub-projects and tasks, and I can set deadlines and log either the amount of time I spend on them, or it will give me notifications, hey, you're supposed to have this done in 3 days, which has been really nice when you're working on multiple tours and a release at the same time. It would be like, hey, you need to get this this graphic design work done for the record art, so get with it, and I could track it in there, and I could select that it was completed or not. and see what we dumped a bunch of time into versus what we didn't, and how well those things paid off. It was we had a free trial for 14 days, and it was like $6, and I was like, I've never paid that much money for an app, but this is kind of convenient, so I'm just gonna run with it. I think I saw it on some dumb article on like BuzzFeed, like 10 apps that can help you be more productive. And it's like, oh, they're not really apps that help you be productive. They're apps that tell you when you're messing up.
Yeah. Is it $6 a month or $6 one time?
$6 period.
That's
not that
a
bad.
really good deal. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can do the same thing in your calendar. I just like the way it's organized.
Yeah, it's a little cleaner and it doesn't clutter up your calendar.
Yeah.
And so links to both Wix and Timetable will be down in the description if you're looking for those. One question about the Wix merch app. Does it let you track inventory separately? So, for example, if you left some of your merch at home that doesn't typically sell well at shows, perhaps, would it keep that separate?
I could technically take it off of availability, so it would be grayed out.
Okay.
So, like, say there was a t-shirt we weren't going to bring on this tour, I can gray it out. And I don't know if that pulls it off the website or not. I think there's a way where I can say it's still on the website, but we're not selling it at shows.
Yeah.
Or I could definitely pull it off of both. That is a good question. We pretty much bring everything with us.
Yeah.
We try to have like as much stuff as we can. I mean, we have like some hoodies that like we won't sell any of them for like 3 days in a row, and then tonight I think we sold like five of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, like we try to bring everything we can because you don't know what you're getting into. Even though like it is going into spring and summertime, we're still selling hoodies because I guess we're just up far north and it's still cold up here a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
We have a big trailer that houses all of the extra merch. It's all in one huge box, just packed in.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 huge boxes we take into the venue, plus 1 small box.
And
That's
some cardboard boxes too.
Yeah.
We
have it all with us, so it's really
Yeah.
all the same inventory for us.
We don't really have a place at home to store our merch at anyone's house or anything, so we actually just store it in our trailer anyway. So it's like it goes with us everywhere,
Yeah.
which is cool because we're like never out of anything,
Yeah.
or
That's
we
awesome.
try to be never out of anything.
Yeah, and I do think obviously it's a rainy night, but Vermont is pretty far north. It's like
Yeah.
85 in the day in summer, and then it'll be 55, 60 at night.
Exactly.
So it's cold. It's
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had snow this
Year
morning.
It's yeah.
it
I was
did.
not happy.
We thought we'd not see snow on this tour, but here we are.
No, it snowed like 3 days in a row up here or something. I live up on a hill too, so it's
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Take me home.
It sounds like you're pretty happy though with the systems you're using.
Yeah.
Would you recommend that other bands use those systems as well if it works into their workflow?
If you're serious, absolutely, with the Wix thing, like there is a yearly fee, and I am sorry I don't know what it is off the top of my head because we paid for it like a year and a half ago and haven't looked back. Like we were so confident in it. Yeah, if you're actually serious in trying to do merch sales online and have an online store, I'd check out Wix. You can list your merch on Bandcamp, which is super convenient because a lot of people already have their music on there, but they take bigger percentages, and they also don't offer all the features with the app and inventory and such. So it's just, if you're serious about it and moving at least a decent amount of inventory, playing shows or whatever, I would really check it out because we keep like 98 point something of our each sale, I think.
Yeah. It might be 1%, might be a little more than they take, but it's small.
It's very small compared to the competitors.
Yeah, Square's rates are great. And I would also say one thing is if you don't have a website for your band, you're messing up. So if that's what's holding you back from using the Wix merchandise app, I would say just have a website. Even if it's not Wix, you have to have a website.
Yeah, and feel free to get on Wix and just make a free one. Like it doesn't cost you anything to make one just to see if you even like it. You have to mess around in there for a few hours to really get the hang of it, just like any computer program. But like, you can make a free website and show it to your band, and go back and forth, change stuff, and then if you decide you want to go for it, you can just pay, and then your free one becomes real. So it's really no risk to get started and see if you like it. And I agree, having a website's really good. While it is hard to maybe like traffic people to your website, just going there to check it out for fun, it's great to be able to just link, from a Facebook post, here's our website, and people can get in there, see your store, see your tour dates, see your videos, see your about, see something they didn't know about you already is on there, because they're getting filtered through their feed so much they only see little bits and pieces of what you're actually posting. So if you've got one place where it's all at, it's good.
The idea is that different demographics use different social medias, and a different demographic, usually older, will tend to go to a website first, but you need that site if you're going to sell merch, if you're going to track people who are into what you do, and aren't just casual listeners. So you'll never get everyone to your website, but it's important to get enough people to your website that you can build these pixels.
Yeah, and we're also not there yet, but if there's ever a point where we're selling tickets to like our own tour or whatever through our website, again, that'd be super easy. I could probably add that in like 10 or 15 minutes tops. You know, ticket links for a 30-day tour or something, just all in a row. I mean, it's super, super beneficial and easy to have, easy to use. So if you're serious, it shouldn't be a hard investment to make, in my opinion.
Yeah, and on the note of tour dates, we use something called Songkick, which lists on our Spotify our tour dates, and when you add it to your Wix website, or I think most websites can take it, it will just take whatever's on Songkick, put it there, and you can do ticket links there. You can do everything. So that makes it very simple.
Yeah, Songkick's definitely important. If you're not using it or don't even know what it is, basically the most beneficial feature I've gathered from it is that if someone's checking you out on Spotify that lives in, like, say, Chicago, and you're coming to Chicago next week, it will literally say, hey, this band's playing next week, because you're within 30 miles of the location, or something like that.
Yep.
I mean, if you think about that, that's literally getting you right in front of someone that maybe isn't following you on Instagram or Facebook because they only found you through a playlist on Spotify. And that's the furthest their relationships with you has gone so far. So getting that next step of getting them out to a show, which could get them out to another show to buy a CD, buy a shirt, become a fan, So definitely Songkick's free. Right?
Yeah,
so
it's 100% free.
There's no reason not to try it out.
Yeah, I remember when bands in town first started doing stuff like that 10 years ago or so, and it was just awesome to expect a pull from your Facebook, and you could just see what was coming up in your area.
Exactly,
and it's great to see that it's now changed where Songkick is integrated with Spotify, so instead of your Facebook likes, anything you listen to, it'll say, hey, this is coming to town.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. And then one of the things that you mentioned earlier as well, you do these shorter tours to kind of help stay chill with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the shorter tours, what do you do to keep up morale among the band?
Showers.
Yeah.
Gyms?
Yeah.
Planet Fitness Black Card membership means you get showers all across the country and Canada for $25 a month, and that gets you and a guest in, so only two of us have it. And staying clean and healthy promotes healthy mental, state. So that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
We used to tour in a pickup truck. Like, no joke, 4 of us would sleep in a pickup truck because we were committed to not spending $100 or $90 on a hotel room, like, because that's like all we had for the night from the door and merch sales. Like, we might be able to afford hotels now, but it wouldn't be smart. So definitely, you don't have to have like a big, huge fan or anything, but like try to figure out a way where you can comfortably sleep in your van, whatever it's going to take. We built bunks in our van. I've seen people with much smaller vans do the exact same thing, and just sleeping in your van and having showers is like the best thing you can do. When we were cramped in that truck before, like, we would get up each other's necks and stuff, like, pretty quick. But here, we can have one person driving, one person sitting here, and one person in each of the beds back there, and it's like, we don't even have to see each other for a few hours. I mean, usually that's not the case. We'll hang out, stuff, or whatever, but if you need some alone time, or you want to talk on the phone with your friend or your girlfriend or whoever, like, you can go find somewhere and be alone at any time, pretty much. And that's really helped everyone's mental health, because when I think back to the pickup truck days, it's like, ooh, that was rough.
Yeah, worse tours and a worse situation.
Yeah,
Now it's better tours and a much cleaner, safer place.
Yeah, I definitely recommend, like, if it is something you and your band can handle, like, invest in a van that if you're serious about it, invest in a van that you're comfortable in. We did, and it was a big jump, and we don't regret it yet. We've had good luck with our van, but yeah, we see a lot of people that they buy one van and then 6 months later they buy another van and then buy another van, and I don't know.
Or break up.
Yeah, or break up. I mean,
you got your choice.
Yeah,
you can buy another van. You can break up. Which one's easier?
Yeah, obviously, like, if you're not in a good financial space, don't do something stupid. But if you're serious about it and everyone in the band wants to be a team, you got a payment split between 4 or 5 people. Or you got 4 or 5 people chipping in together on one thing. You should be able to do all right. So.
Yeah, and luckily, if we're on the road, it's being paid for by being on the road.
Exactly. Yeah, we hardly. Yeah. But yeah, the biggest thing is staying clean and having somewhere comfortable to live, because this is your home. Okay.
All right. Well, Adam, Brandon, thanks so much for your time. Just to wrap things up, I have one last question. If you could leave other DIY bands with one piece of information that you think is key to their ongoing success, what would you say that is? And you can each have your own if you have.
Yeah,
you go first.
Yeah. Stop what you're doing and talk to people who have been doing it. Just message them. Don't go, I don't really know that guy, I can't talk to them, and just be like, hey, trying to be a better band and not an idiot. What do we need to do better? Every time you play a show, talk to the other bands and get real feedback, not, hey, nice set, or, you know, you got to be ready to have your feelings heard a few times to 100 times, because there were definitely at least 50 shows where we could have been told, you guys need to step this up.
That guitar sucked, that drum sucked, that drum sucked, or the vocals sucked tonight. Like, that was all stuff we needed to hear but never did hear, and we didn't even know it till, like, now.
Yeah, and then second to that, you might go, oh, there's so much to learn, I should just hire someone. If you're a small band, the only people that are going to want to work with you that seem like legitimate managers and agents are people that are just collecting a paycheck from you. They're gonna ask you for some flat rate money that doesn't guarantee they'll do anything, and not to say flat rate doesn't have a time and place, but you're more likely to find someone who's just cashing in on you on that $100, that $200 a month, because you have no idea what you're doing. So just talk to people.
Yeah. I almost kind of want to piggyback off of Adam's advice, but I'll go more in depth. With asking other bands for advice, when we first got started, I asked a few bands for advice when we were booking our first tours, and it helped. And we also have lots of bands that ask us for advice. I won't name them, but, like, we have bands constantly messaging Adam and I and Colin and Wes, like, how are you guys setting up your wireless rig? How are you guys booking with this person? What are you doing to combat this problem? And, like, I feel like we've grown really good relationships with those people. It doesn't annoy me when they ask me those questions. Like, I'm so happy to help, because I wish I had someone to ask some of those questions to when we were getting started out. So, like, I'm more than happy to give back in. There are definitely going to be people out there that, like, straight up ignore you, or like, yo, I don't know, figure that out for yourself, and try and not let that stuff bother you, and just find someone else and ask them, because there's definitely lots of help out there. And yeah, I mean, that's just been the biggest thing for us, especially Adam, with building his group of contacts and stuff, is like talking to bigger bands or bands you look up to, and just be genuine with them and ask them what's up. Like, chances are they might just get back to you and help you out, and you might form a relationship with them. So
yeah, one final weigh in on that. Every bit of advice take with a grain of salt, because everyone's experience goes to their band and the era they were in that band. So what works for one person might not work for another person, and what works for a genre or a demographic isn't going to work for the next.
Exactly.
And if they were in a band 10 years ago, they don't know the lay of the land now unless they've actively been working in it with new bands.
Exactly.
Because it's changing.
Always changing.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Brandon and Adam from Pickwick Commons. Again, check them out on Spotify. What's the URL of your website, guys?
It's going to be www.pickwickcommonsband.com.
All right. And this has been the Better Band Bureau. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And I hope you have an awesome week and soak up this information. This is really valuable to all of you because this is a band that's touring on the road, and it's just something that you should pay attention to. Like they're saying, learning from each other is key. And this is a huge opportunity where you don't even have to ask questions if you're not comfortable asking people. You just got a bunch of knowledge. But yeah, so as they were saying, education is key. I really hope you learned a lot from this. If you have any questions, maybe they'll even let you reach out to them on their personal Facebooks. And yeah, check that out and get some information from them if you don't find it in other resources.
Yeah, personal, or if it's anything gear related, check out our rig rundown video on YouTube. And if a question's not answered in there, message the member whose gear it pertains to, because we get gear questions daily and we're happy to talk about it. And then if you have any questions about our tour rig, we have a digital tour bus out, and check that out. And there's loads of information there. And also we have a tour doc video we did that's got even more tour stuff in it. So like, check those out first before you message us, just because we do get a lot of messages. But for real, like, feel free to send us a message. If we don't get back to you right away, we will get back to you.
All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Pickwick Commons, and I really think that you can learn a lot from these guys. So as mentioned in the interview, if you have any questions for them, feel free to message them on their personal Facebooks with any questions you might have after, of course, you check out the videos they referenced. Or if you have questions in general, you can also drop a comment below and I will reply, or maybe even Brandon and Adam will check out the comment section as well and get back to you there. If you did enjoy this content, I would love if you would subscribe to my email list down below, the link's in the description, and you'll even get a special little bonus for signing up. By signing up, you're saying, yes, I want free tips, tricks, and information about DIY touring and being in a DIY band. I promise I won't spam you. I only email out about once or twice per month unless there's something special going on. But if you ever do have feedback for me on that email list, feel free to reply too and we can talk about it, because it comes from my personal email. It's not just some random no reply email. So if you want a free bonus and access to email me anytime you need, just subscribe down below. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great week and keep rocking.